Welcome again. My name is Chris Aitken from the Downtown Business Association, and we are very proud to welcome Susan Parmelee. Susan is the Executive Director of the Wellness and Prevention Center right here in San Clemente. Susan, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. I'm happy to be here.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about the background of the Wellness and Prevention Center and what services you provide?
Sure. So the Wellness and Prevention Center was founded about 5 years ago right here in San Clemente in order to help teens and their families lead healthy lives. So we support with mental health services and prevention education in the community and in schools, in secondary schools, and also in a community clinic.
Can you tell me about some of the schools that you've been involved with?
Yeah, so we started at San Clemente High School, and we now have a dedicated office there 5 days a week. And also in the old Ole Hansen Elementary campus, we occupy the administration building, and that's where we see other community clients, including adults. And then we are at Shorecliffs Middle School, Bernice Ayer Middle School, and also Vista Del Mar Middle School. And we have expanded to help to put mental health professionals on a few other campuses in South Orange County now.
So tell me, what was your inspiration for the center? How did this kind of all come to be?
So myself and several other parents kind of noticed our kids were struggling. We were seeing suicides and substance use, even to the point of heroin use at our high school and at high school parties. And this was told to us by our own kids who were attending the schools. It wasn't, there had been a lot of budget cuts, the economy was down, and we thought maybe it was time to support teens and their families a little better.
I appreciate that. And can you tell me about how your organization has expanded and who else is involved with the organization? Sure.
The majority of our board of directors are right here in San Clemente, and I just have to thank this community so much because we get so much support from the businesses and the individuals. But we also are in the middle schools and high schools in Aliso Viejo now, and that community came together and also raised funding to help us get established and keep going there. And we're also at San Juan Hills High School, mainly because a lot of our kids go there, and our original mission was to really serve every child that lives in San Clemente. We also have been doing some trainings for peer listening in the high schools. So we did that at one private school so far. And we also have expanded our services for adults and families after school hours. So we're pretty excited about all of that.
Well, that's great, Susan. And what I noticed that you and your staff have a lot of roots in San Clemente. Can you kind of tell me about your roots in San Clemente and your staff and give us some
information? So both our clinical director, Sophie Sandoval, and our community prevention director, Lauren Gallegos, are San Clemente High School alums. And they've been with us now for 3 years each, and they're just doing a great job. Lauren runs our Drug-Free Communities program, and that is a federal grant from the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and that was a 5-year grant for $625,000, which she is now in charge of helping families and young people learn how to be substance free until they're of the age for legal use. And that's been a really great program for the community with some great outcomes, including lowering substance use per our California Healthy Kids data. So really excited about that. And then Sophie is a bilingual Spanish clinical therapist, and she helps run our intern program. We typically have anywhere from 6 to 8 graduate student interns who are learning to be mental health professionals. So we're feeding into to developing and growing more professionals because historically Orange County has been underserved by mental health professionals. So we really like the part where we help people become professionals and help others.
So can you tell me a little bit about what age is your clientele and why is it so important to have mental health services for this age group?
Yeah, so we primarily see 11 to 18-year-olds, and the reason it's really important is because this is the second most important time for brain development in the young person. So the first time obviously is baby through toddlerhood, but then when we get into the teen years, they're developing this prefrontal cortex, and that's where where the executive functioning happens, where you learn self-control, you learn how you learn to move beyond black and white thinking and think through little details and consequences. And so we know that if we can intervene with mental health interventions for kids who are struggling and have symptoms, that they can still rebuild their brain and have healthier outcomes. We also know that, you know, one in four diseases of mental health starts when kids are teenagers. So we want to know if we intervene early, just like in heart disease or diabetes or anything like that, if we can intervene early, we know that there's going to be better outcomes and our kids are going to be successful. And we need them to be, because we need them to come back and keep our community vibrant.
Perfect. Well, in this kind of very unique time, how has your organization changed, and how have you had to adapt with COVID-19?
So like everyone else, we're probably working in our workout clothes and pajamas a lot more, but we're still connecting to our clients. So we are using a combination, thankfully, basically Medi-Cal, which makes all the rules. We don't take Medi-Cal, but they make the rules for how we provide a mental health treatment. They now allow telehealth on any platform. It used to have to be a very expensive HIPAA protected platform. So all of our therapists have moved to telehealth, our interns and our clinicians. Now we're using telehealth, either phone or Zoom or FaceTime. And we are also available to take on anyone in the community right now for no fee if they need help. They just need to contact, and hopefully we'll put a link up. They just need to contact our intake process, and we will one-time listening or multiple sessions. We want to make sure our community is served right now, and we still have space available.
I appreciate that. And kind of on that point, what's your website, or how best they can they contact you right now? How do we find you?
Definitely the website, www.wpc-oc.org. You can also, that turns into an email, info@www.wpc-oc.org, or they can call 949-680-0516. Can also leave a message in Spanish, and I will pass that on to our Spanish-speaking intern clinician, which is Sophie. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. And do you have, I guess, during this time, you know, for San Clemente, would you have any recommendations of how we can take care of our health and wellness during this time?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to just be compassionate with yourself and others. Unfortunately, none of us are at optimum performance right now. We all feel a little challenged. For me, I'm having a really hard time focusing, and my sleep's definitely messed up, and that's really common during a time of crises and a time of adjustment. So please just don't be hard on yourself about that, and don't be hard on others. It's just definitely a time to be very tolerant and understand that everyone's going to react differently. For parents of teens, kids just need you to listen. They just need to be heard. They don't want you to solve their problems. They just need a place to talk. And the more you listen, you're going to be surprised how they start solving their own problems right in front of you. So just be an open ear. You know, I coach my therapist that silence is probably your best tool. So just be silent and be present with those that you love, and support each other. And that's really going to be helpful. If you are concerned that things are not what they should be, that they're past that level of just not functioning where you should be, just reach out to your doctor or to our program, or to whoever you know that can be more supportive.
And I know there's a lot of people in San Clemente. It's a very tight-knit community, and a lot of people want to help. Do you have any kind of recommendations on how people can help during this very unique time?
Yeah, and I already see so many bright lights happening and all that. A couple things we can do. On a basic level, a lot of people are now hurting for basic needs. So let's support Family Assistance Ministries. Their food bank is still open, but it's in need. If you go to their website, FamilyAssistanceMinistry.org, there's a list of what they need. They particularly need size 5 and 6 diapers. They need empty egg cartons. I know we're eating a lot of eggs. Their eggs come in a big crate, so they need how to put them into smaller portions. And there's a bunch of canned goods and some other things on their list right now that they really need. Money works for them too. They do a lot of financial aid, so remember to support them, because we have a lot of people out of work right now. And think about the people that are out of work that you really trust, that you've known all the time you've lived in San Clemente. If you aren't going to get, obviously we can't get to our haircuts, consider paying for your haircut anyway. If you're not having your housekeepers come to your house, please go ahead and pay them. They have families. And think about your favorite bartender, your favorite waiter in town. Call the business owner, ask them how you can get some support to them, what they're doing to get some income to them. Do your takeout. Everyone who's doing takeout is so safe right now. You go in there, they're in their masks, they have their gloves. Some are selling pre-prepared food. Some are selling different items like fresh pasta. We got some great fresh pasta the other day from a restaurant. But remember, these places, if you want them to come back, we have to support them right now. One other group I want to shout out to, your nail salon too. I'm sure they could really use some support.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Susan. I really appreciate it. I mean, the Wellness and Prevention Center has been such a wonderful organization here in San Clemente. You guys do just terrific work, and thank you for being a DBA member, and I really appreciate everything you do for here in San Clemente, Susan.
Thanks, Chris, and I just want to let everyone know, please be well.
Right. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.